We are back with Open Innovation Week. Thanks to everyone who is watching us live. Remember, you can write your questions to our panelists in the YouTube chat. Now, to talk about Brazilian and worldwide scenario of logistics and mobility startups, I invite Mr. Vanderlei Marques, General Manager of Multimodal Business Development and Head of Volume at VLI. Welcome, Mr. Vanderlei, and thank you for your presence.
Marco, thank you very much for this opportunity. We try to share a little bit what we are doing in VLI, in Volume, in Club Itaú, to share this information with you. We are open to have further discussions after this panel with everyone that has interest on that. I will share the presentation. In the presentation, I'll talk about myself a little bit more. Okay, Volume is a venture building in the company that I work on. That is VLI. VLI is a logistics infrastructure, a big logistics infrastructure in Brazil. We have railway, ports, terminals. We move almost 20% of the soybean or the other grains of exportation. And since 2017, we get into innovation program. After that, digital transformation process. So we are trying to work with the ecosystem. And we are making a good progress. We think about that. We understand. We open our doors to understand what what the ecosystem is doing in Brazil and worldwide, and we have good initiatives to be inside of this movement. And also to provide our expertise, all the efforts that we could add on that to move the logistics and mobility ecosystem in Brazil to move on. Okay, we were invited to talk about the logistics and mobility scenario, digital transformation, that ecosystem, and worldwide in Brazil. Now we are 100% involved in Brazilian logistics and mobility ecosystem, and we'll share with you what has happened. First of all, I would like to thank Jetro, okay, Mr. Har and Mr. Tatiana to invite us to share our experience on that. We'd like to thank the 100 open startups as well for this event. It's very important to Brazilian ecosystem overall. Well, I'm a businessman since 1995. Okay, working in big companies in Brazil. Have experience outside Brazil, in Africa, but my experience was until 2015. I was in entrepreneurship inside these big companies, but since 2015, I'm almost involved with what's happening in Brazilian ecosystem of innovation. Okay, right now I'm trying to develop business in digital transformation process. I'm head of the two main venture builders in VLI. The first of that is Volume. Okay, I'll explain a little bit more what Volume is. And the second one is Strato. Is a logistics startup that was born inside the VLI, and I will explain a little bit more as well. Okay. We can move forward, please. Okay, our agenda is to give some figures regarding the logistics in the worldwide context. After that, what you have more experience is to share with you what is happening in Brazilian context regarding logistics and mobility. And finally, we'll talk about the logistics and mobility in Brazil. Okay. Some figures around worldwide. It's very important. We are bringing some very recent information that we got, that we studied. So we have important information in this slide. First of all, 7 of the top 10 companies in the world right now, totally different 10 years ago, are technology, are companies based on technology, as Amazon, as Apple, as many of the companies that you know right now. But 10 years ago, that companies were not in the top 10 of the biggest companies in the world. So we can see with this kind of information that technology is important to the movement of the growing and the sustained operations of the company around the world. The figures in this technology industry is around $3 trillion in the last year. So it's a huge amount of money that is involved in this ecosystem that we are studying, working, make integration, and so on. And the figures in just 1 year, just the last year, is around 300 billion US dollars in venture capital investment. So what means that there is a huge amount of money related to risk capital in startups that we don't know what will be in the future of that. Okay. Another good information to share with you is that Brazil, these studies mention that there are 84 big cities in the world working to produce. They have the system, they have the conditions to bring opportunities to a startup to be a unicorn, to be a $1 billion startup. And 2 Brazilian cities in this study are in this context of the 84 around the world. We are talking about São Paulo and Curitiba as well. There are many cities in Brazil, okay, but this study don't say yet that we have enough conditions in the other cities to produce 1 billion startup, okay? But for sure, you have many cities in Brazil that are moving this in this path. Another important information related to the pandemic that we are living right now is that the startups are suffering a lot regarding their resources, mainly financial resources. The first information is that 4 of 10 startups in the world has capital to run only 3 months. Okay, so there is a shortage of money for this startup. They are facing difficulties to make new business, to increase revenues, and so on. So it's a big issue right now related to pandemic that we are living, that startups are suffering a lot. One in each 3 startups are in layoff process. One in each 3. We are talking about the startups that they are in Series A, B, C, or more. Has money only to 6 months from now, and 1 in each 5 startups have a cancellation of a new round of funding of the investor. So we are facing a big challenge for the startups right now. So these are worldwide figures that show to us how difficult it's been to the startups to move forward. Moving to the Brazilian context, we are very happy with the number of startups that we have right now in Brazil. According to the ABS startups study, we have more than 13,000 startups mapped in Brazil right now. Okay, we have another figures that are not in the slides. That Brazil is the top 15 in number of startups in the world. Okay, that means that we are in a good position. Could be better. I think it would be better in the future, but we can say that we are in a good position. We are producing. We are giving conditions to have new startups each year, each month, each day. It's very important. We bring some information of the cities that we have more startups according to these studies. São Paulo is the huge place in Brazil according to the number of startups. One in each 3 startups was born in São Paulo or is based in São Paulo right now. Minas Gerais is the second one. Rio Grande do Sul has a good position right now, in third position. Rio de Janeiro, fourth. Paraná, 50. Santa Catarina, 60. As you can see, the 6 main cities in Brazil, in the top 10, are in the south or the southeast in Brazil. So you have to work together in the ecosystem to bring conditions to have more startups around the whole country. In this study of 13,000 startups, we have around 2.5 logistics and mobility startups. So it's a few figures. For sure, the number of healthcare, fintech, more successful process regarding to this issue. Okay, but we are moving in a fast track. We show some figures forward that we understand that we will have in the near future much more logistics and mobility startups in Brazil. Okay, because it's required. The figures are related to logistics and mobility in Brazil is very huge as well. The other study that we, Bruno, if you can. Okay, thank you. Just to give the figures that you have in volume, we have almost 300 startups. If you see in the left part of this slide, you have around 320 startups of the logistics. In our study, we have 283. It's almost the same figures, maybe some process to bring the number of startups, but we can say that we have 300 logistics startups in Brazil right now. What's important to say right now, because this study of Volume was doing together with Distrito, okay, in this year. We talk with every of any 283 startup, so we have all the information. We know very well what they do, what's the main person over there, in which stage they are right now. So Valum is working in a niche of this ecosystem in the logistics and mobility, and we are trying to make a movement to increase the number of startups, to increase the connection between the companies, the enterprise with these startups. So this is the main proposal of Valum. You can move forward right now, Bruno. Thank you. We are bringing all the information to you. In the left side, we can see that it's a McKinsey study 1 year or 1.5 years ago. Okay, we can say the industries and how advanced they are in terms of digital transformation. More green, more advanced; more gray, less advanced. Okay. When you see in the middle of this table the transport storage, the logistics, we say that almost all the items that are evaluating this research of McKinsey, our industry is gray. It's a worldwide study. That means that we are faced the same challenge, not only in Brazil but worldwide. In terms of it's more attractive to have financial startups or health care startups and so on. but there is a lot of money involved in the logistics. In the right side, you can see 12% of the gross domestic product in Brazil are related to the logistics. We are talking about 800 billion reais each year. So there's a huge movement of money in this industry, and you have few startups in the other side. So for sure, the industry, I'm saying because I'm in the industry, you have a lot of necessities, a lot of pain points in the industry, but the movement to bring, to incentivize new startups to develop solutions, disruptive solutions to our industry is not an issue that is well connected right now. So Valum is trying to make this movement with everyone that has the same thought and has the same understanding of this process. We can move forward, please. This figure is trying to show the 283 startups that we mapped in this year with Distrito. So we have all of them. We are talking with all of them. We are trying to make movements to increase the connection of all of them. So it's a movement that we are doing by Valum. It's not by VLI, it's by Valum. So what you see that all the companies, all the entities that has understanding, that has interest in work with us to make this movement grow and so on. It's welcome. Okay, so it's a little picture of how we are going deeply regarding this industry in terms of digital transformation startups in Brazil. We can move forward, please. We are going deeply a little bit regarding this study to share information with you. But again, we are very open to talk with you and bring you with us in this movement as well. We are talking with a lot of companies. We have mainly working with a lot of companies to connect, to make a real connection with these startups, trying to move this ecosystem in Brazil. What you see, that almost half of these startups are trying to give solution to this industry in terms of management. Okay, it's good. It's very important, but we do understand that this kind of movement, it's a kind of movement of a lack of digitalization of this industry. What I mean, this industry have many entities. The entities are not connected. The process are not automatized. So the startups see a big opportunity to make connections, but not to disrupt the process. Okay, in the next slide, you can see that the number of startups in these figures that we have mapped, just a few of that are trying to bring disruptive solutions right now. So what it means that we don't have main startups of logistics and mobility in Brazil right now. It's important to the industry to have more. And the second lesson that we have with these figures, that the major number of startups in logistics and mobility are not bringing disruptive solutions right now. So you have to make the movement to bring our the industry to bring the pain points. So what are solutions that we need and so on, to give the opportunity to startups to solve and to bring solutions in a disruptive way Okay, you can move forward, please. In the last 5 years, we doubled the number of logistics startups in Brazil. It's good. It's not a bad figure. It's good for sure. Okay. But when you compare, for instance, with the fintech industry, in the last 5 years, they grow 12 times. Okay. So it's very important, again, that you have a connection movement to foment, to bring more startups of logistics and mobility to help us, to help the industry to solve and to bring new solutions to this industry. So when you see these figures, it's good. We're in a good path. For sure, we understand that in the near future, we will have more startups of logistics mobility. We feel this kind of movement, but in the other hand, other industries are more attractive, are bringing more startups each day to solve these solutions of these industries. So this is the main purpose of Volume. We are trying to bring companies. One of that 283 startups of the logistics that we mapped this year, one of that is Trato. We are taking this opportunity to share with you a second venture build initiative of VLI. VLI is a huge company. We move more than 45 million tons of cargo every year in multiple segments in Brazil. Okay. And we don't have a huge operation regarding trucks. So our clients have to bring the cargo up to our terminals in trucks, okay, to VLI move this cargo up to the ports or from the ports in the highway, okay. So Trato is an initiative since the beginning of the last year that the main purpose of Trato is to take care of the truck drivers in Brazil, okay. We see that there is a lack of care regarding these truck drivers in Brazil. Okay, they don't have support in many areas. We saw this kind of pain points related to the truck drivers, and we start up a MVP in the beginning of the last year. We finished the MVP in the middle of this year. We've got more money to make a new phase of Trato, but Trato right now has more than 35,000 truck drivers in this platform, active truck drivers, that we are bringing to these truck drivers information, powerful in decision, benefits, and so on. When we're moving forward to connect more with these truck drivers and get more optimization of this journey, understand the pain points of the journey, try to work with them to increase the revenues, to diminish the costs, and so on. We are talking with many companies that understand the powerful of this kind of initiative that could bring solutions to this one. So we are talking about a real platform to make a lock-in with the truck drivers, and the score that truck drivers give us right now to how Trato is taking care of them is 96% of. So it's a huge score that we have right now that show us that we are moving in a good path related to a good proposal to bring solution to this class in Brazil. Okay, it's a huge class in Brazil. You can move back, Bruno, just to finish. So we have working right now with these truck drivers. We are bringing partnerships to bring more solutions of fuel, of maintenance, of many issues that are required and necessary this kind of class of the truck drivers. We can move forward. Please, Bruno. So VLI is an initiative that is very open to have new associates, new companies that could contribute with this movement. We are based right now in Cubitaú. VLI is the leadership of the vertical of logistics and mobility in Cubitaú. So all of that start up with this movement of VLI go to Cubitaú. We are very happy with this partnership. We are working with this initiative around 1 year. 1 year is a few months, okay? And in this period, we created the volume. We understood that it's not a movement of VLI, it's not a movement of only few companies that are with us. For instance, Wilson Sons is a company that is working with us in this movement in Cubitaú, and we created a volume to make this movement more than VLI, more than Wilson Sons, more than all the companies that could be here. So it's an inclusive movement that we are trying to connect in the logistics and mobility industry, all the entities that are important to make a huge movement in Brazil, maybe connect to other movements around the world. We are talking with some companies, some ecosystems around the world to make this movement, to bring more solutions, to give opportunity to our startups outside Brazil. So we are very happy. Volume is going very well. One pillar of volume is that one that we are bringing to you to connect the ecosystem. The second one is education. So this kind of industry is very huge. We have many people working in this industry. So how we can connect the entities to bring education, to bring information, to bring expertise. So Volume is a kind of MVP. We are very open to open all the pillars to bring important things to this industry, and we do agree that we can't do this alone, or even with Wilson Sons. We do understand that we have to do this movement with the other companies, the other entities that understand that we could move the logistics and mobility sector to another level. Okay, I think this is the last slides. Okay, so we have some other informations of myself, of Volume. We have an email in the end of the slides. So everyone that has interest to contact us to understand a little bit more about Volume, about this movement, have interest to understand, to bring resources or to bring demand or whatever, it's very welcome, really very welcome. So our contact is right here. We can contact us. We can explain a little bit more what we're doing in this process, and maybe to be in touch and to have you with us in this challenging, in this movement.
Thank you, Vanderlei. We have a question. If there are opportunities for open innovation currently at VLI, open innovation with the startups, and if you have a case to share with other startups from open innovation.
Good question. Thank you very much, Mark, for the question. And we in VLI we have our open innovation program. It's called Innova VLI. Okay, our program is called Inova VLI. This program is based since the end of 2017. So we are very unknown in the market, in the logistics market. We have good connections with the whole ecosystem. We are bringing main opportunities to the startup since the beginning. Okay, we have many cases that we worked with this kind of startups in the process, in the core business process of VLI, in the HR or law department. So we have many cases that we can share with you. And this movement that we have in Club Itaú was not thinking to have an open innovation process, okay? But for instance, for Wilson Sons, it was a good movement to have this their open innovation programs inside the Club Itaú, because they were starting at the same time the movement to go in Club Itaú with us, and starting the open innovation program as well. So we helped us a few companies, maybe 5 or 6, that were in contact with us in the last year, and trying to start their innovation program. As we have in volume the contact with 283 companies of logistics, and the other companies that are in Cuba, not only in logistics and mobility, in the other sectors. With this experience, with around 5 companies that had interest to start their open innovation, we make the connection. We help that comp as volume to start that program. So it's a kind of a solution that the companies that had interest to make a connection with us in volume, as we have experience as VLI in innovation process, and as we have experience as volume to contact the ecosystem, we help this company to move to make this movement. Talking about companies, talking about startups, it was a flow in the 2 ways. Okay, we started to search startups of logistics and mobility, and as we made this movement, many startups of logistics start to find us to be in connection. So right now, 1 year later, we have a good movement every Friday in Club Itaú. We receive a startup that has interest to go inside the Cubo, and we talk with them. We evaluate, score them, and help Cubo Itaú to understand if that startup has maturity or not to get inside the Cubo. So, Marco, and the person who made the question, we have many opportunities to the companies, or even to the startups, to connect them. We have this experience, this recent experience, to make this connection. So if the question is related to our startup, welcome. Contact us. We will explain what we do, how can you connect you with the ecosystem that you work and participate in. If you're a company, you have many doubts how to start an innovation program, or you want to test, or you want to connect with the startups that we have connection with, we are welcome as well. If you are entity, as the street was in one time, that you can bring some information or some study, or to help this ecosystem to move forward, we are welcome as well. So that's the answer that I could bring to you.